Vernon Maxwell was the craziest you ever want to see on the court.
Did I hear that right?
He was in Michael Jordan. So, and I would lock Scott. What Scott did, I would tell Scott right in his face, I would lock you up, dude.
Today on The Jump, Robert Horry gets his wish. Scotty's here and he's gonna respond. Is LeBron running on empty? We'll take a look. Dwight Howard is stopping by. We got a whole crew here in Cleveland. We are turning it up. Look at Wendy on the tambourine. Oh yeah, The Jump starts right now.
Welcome to The Jump, presented by La Quinta.
Welcome to The Jump. You can see the queue. We are just down the block live at the Opera House in Cleveland. I'm Rachel Nichols. I'm alongside Mr. Vince Carter, Mr. Paul Pierce, Mr. Scottie Pippen. Yesterday, when we were in Oakland, I was sitting next to a man who had a jacket made of tacos. You have gone instead with the plaid. It's a good look. I like that.
Tacos not my thing.
No food stuffs for you?
Not for me.
All right, well, welcome back. We love having
Thanks for
you
having
here.
me.
Thank you. And, of course, our regular crew guys. Let's talk a little bit basketball. I got to be blunt here, guys. Cleveland needs to win a game. And to do that, the Cavaliers are going to have to figure out a different way to deploy LeBron James. Mind you, this is not because LeBron has not been playing well. In Game 2 alone, he had a triple-double, highlighted by this dunk. Can you say business decision, Andre Iguodala? But while LeBron usually sets a game on fire when he's playing like this, in these finals, those same efforts have barely created a spark. Now, part of this has been the enormity of what Cleveland is up against in this stacked Warriors team. You guys remember that scene in the second Matrix movie, when Keanu Reeves thought he just had to fight off one Agent Smith, and then all of a sudden there's like hundreds of Agent Smiths running around? Yeah, there's a little bit of that going on. But also, it's the way all this fighting is happening, which is super fast. And I mean, really fast. These last two games against the Warriors were played at a faster pace than any of the other 212 postseason games LeBron James has ever played in the course of his entire playoff career. That's a big deal because the Warriors know that if they wear LeBron James down, especially in the first half, the Cavaliers don't really have a plan B. And then starting in the third quarter, it's all Golden State. Now, I do want to be clear. As a team, the Cavaliers like pace too. It's how they are built to play. But there is a difference between running your offense with pace and being run around the floor on possessions and picking and choosing who is on the move against who. And that is what Cleveland needs to figure out. Obviously, the biggest answer here is just that LeBron needs more help. Kyrie in particular has to figure out some way to get more comfortable out there. But also, Ty needs to figure out a different way to deploy his greatest weapon. People keep saying there's no way a LeBron James team is getting swept. Well, that's only going to be true if the Cavaliers can figure out how to use him better. Now, Scotty, closing the gap. What can the Cavaliers do? What do you think Ty Lue should do?
Well, I think they need some home cooking, first of all. I think that would help them tremendously. But I think just...
We're not talking about the officiating. We're talking about the Cavaliers' game plan.
Well, the game plan needs to start from their house from the moment they leave driving to the arena. And really, they just need better focus. I think they have to play better and harder. This Golden State team is a very superb team. They're good at every aspect of the game, and I think they just have to match their intensity. I think LeBron has put forward his best foot, at least I thought he did in Game 2 as far as the first half, but it still wasn't enough. It really wore him down. I saw fatigue set in right there before halftime. So, they just have to play harder to me. I think that right now, defensively, they have to find a way to stop allowing Golden State to make so many big shots, so many shots that have really broken their back when they've tried to get back in the game and really tried to shut down Steph a little bit. I think Durant has shown that, he's going to be able to pull his shot over anybody and make it. But I think Steph has really played at the same level of Durant. And maybe I said something on the show a week ago saying that he wasn't as dominant as a guy like LeBron and KD, but in this series, he's shown a lot of dominance.
Well, they're going to need more players to step up. I mean, LeBron is playing out of his mind. He's giving you 30 points, 10-plus rebounds, 10-plus assists. What more can you ask from him? You need more guys to step up. You need more than one unsung hero. Guys like Dr, Tristan Thompson, Cal Corbin, Darren Williams. They have to combine to give them something. So as far as closing the gap, that's what it's going to take. LeBron is playing well. Kevin Love had a great game. You know, even Kyrie, he could play a little bit better. But even if he scored, let's say 7 or 8 more points, they still lose by 15 in the last game. So it has to be the other guys, the guys off the bench, the other 2 starters. They have to come and play better with more energy and give them something.
How do you get guys to do that, though? When he said it's got to be from leaving the time you leave the house, how do you get players to do? I mean, it's the NBA Finals. How are you not focused for the NBA Finals?
The good thing for the Cavs is they've been here before, so I think they have that in their back pocket as far as they know what to expect. They've been in this same exact situation before, so I think LeBron has to just continue to be LeBron. Of course, you would like them to play out of his mind, above who he really is, which is no such thing. you know, exactly, right? So, but now it's like everybody else. You need JR to shoot the ball well, to spread the floor. Kyrie has to just play out of his mind. They need the Kyrie from last year. He has to play like an assassin, like the assassin that he is, that we know he is. It's not about, oh, he doesn't have it, maybe he wasn't this. He's capable. We know that. He just has to show it, and I think home court is going to help him.
Yeah, and you mentioned LeBron the way, I mean, look, you talked about how tired he looked, too. I want to take a look at the first half versus the second half here. Look, no drives to the basket, second half, 5 less transition plays, just 4 points in the paint to go with an average shot distance of over 16 feet from the basket. Now, we heard from LeBron talking about all of this earlier, and he is adamant they are not going to slow things down. Take a listen.
We play at our pace, and we play our game. We got to this point playing our way. We've won a lot of games playing the way we play, so, you know, we're not going to change.
I mean, Scott said it. Did he look tired to you too?
But this is the thing. If LeBron is guarding KD and KD is still getting 35, let's save some of that energy and put that towards something else. Let's move him over to guard Zaza. Let's put him on Draymond Green. You know, let's save his defensive energy so he has something left in the second half. I mean, if you're not going to stop KD anyway, move.
He's saying, what's the point?
Well, no, I mean that's what I opened the show with. I think they have to deploy him differently.
Yeah,
I agree. He can't be any better. So you just, where are you putting that energy? Because right now where you're putting it is not getting it done. And what else they have?
And that way he'll have something left for the fourth quarter. Because when you have to come down and guard the best offensive player in the world, possibly the best player,
Paul Pierce,
get
get back
offense
to that.
yourself.
And,
I mean, it's a tough assignment.
And I piggyback on that and say that there's no place to really hide on defense against the Golden State Warriors.
Right.
It's still going to be a tall order, whether he's going to have to block out Zaza or have to deal with Draymond Green. It's still going to be tough for him, but the fact that he has to come down and be a part of every offensive set for the Cleveland Cavaliers is definitely taking a lot away from his energy in terms of what he can do defensively. He's got a tall order in guarding KD, but also offensively in the second half, he's losing a lot of that because of what he have to do on the defensive end.
And I think, once again, off of what Paul said, that's what you need him the most. You need him to be the closer. You need LeBron and Kyrie, first and foremost, to be your closers. Fourth quarter, you need them as fresh as possible. But they have to leave them both on the floor as long as possible because of the deficits they're put in right now. And if your bench, you're not shooting the ball well, if you can't buy him any minutes, you're going to see a tired LeBron the rest of this series.
Right, and it's only going to build as each game goes on. I don't know. So you talk about other players that need to step up. Tristan Thompson, we've been talking about this for the past couple games. 8 points and 4 rebounds in Game 2. Again, Ty Lue sort of had to take him off the floor at some point. I think he played less than 22 minutes for the second game in a row. He's not the only one who's struggling, though. Paul, I guess, who is the most disappointing Cavalier to you? Who would you like to see?
You can point to two guys. You can point to 2 guys. You can say, well, three things. You can say J.R. Smith, you can say Tristan Thompson, and the whole Cavaliers bench. But the person I'm most disappointed in is Tristan because he can control his effort. His game is predicated on effort. We're not asking him to go out there, spread the court, shoot threes, give it to him in the post on isolations. We're asking him to bring energy, to get offensive rebounds, to be a physical force inside when he's in there, and he's not doing that. And if he's not going to do that, then you can't play him.
He's getting burned defensively, though. I mean, that's part of the issue.
And that's what you want from him. You want his defense, his rebound, his energy. If he's not doing that, something he can control, he can't control how many touches he gets. He can't control if he gets isolations, but he can control how hard he plays on defense and his rebounding, and he's not doing that.
And if he does that, he gets them extra possessions.
Right.
He gets them the chance to shoot open threes because they're great at that offensive rebound, throwing out to the three. That's what the league is all about now. Offensive rebound, throw it to the three-point line and get shots.
That's
But
all well and good. The
But if
Cavs
he's
had
not doing
more
it.
possessions in the first half of Game 2 than they had all year. They were still behind.
Yep.
So
I mean, given out what Tristan needs to do, you really got to give credit to Golden State as to what they've been able to do, and they've limited Cleveland's second shots opportunities, and Tristan is a big corporate of getting them second shots opportunities. So they've done a real good job of limiting him. I think the next thing that the Cavs have to do is maybe look at changing their lineup a little bit.
Okay, so earlier today, Ty Lue was asked, what about swapping in Iman Shumpert for J.R. Smith in the starting lineup? And he just came out and he said, I'm not doing that. What do you guys think of that decision?
Well, I don't think that's the right switch. I see more Tristan Thompson coming out of this lineup. You're talking 4 rebounds, 4 points. I could throw that from my front room. So, I just think that someone has to come in, and I thought Shumpert did a good job of really trying to make an impact, trying to give them something offensively. I think he should be the guy that they try to implement in, but I see Tristan coming out instead of JR.
I mean, you're going to see a lot more of LeBron at the 4, I think, but not guarding KD. That way you can implement Iman Shumpert. Maybe try to get J.R. Smith going. He needs more opportunities. I mean, he's an X factor for them a year ago when they won. He's only taking 6 shots. This is a guy who can get hot. He's considered a streaky player, but a guy that can get hot. He needs more opportunities if you want more from him.
because he opened up the floor, and that was allowing Kyrie to get into the paint. It was allowing LeBron to get into the paint. And once LeBron got rolling into the paint, while hitting those shots, it was a different series. So this is the opportunity. Game 3 is their opportunity. It's now or never.
And that whole role players play better at home thing?
It's true.
Yeah, it's true, but it
play
has
40
to happen.
Let's hope it.
You play 41 games at home. You're comfortable there.
Right, for sure.
You're comfortable there. You play 41
For those
out of
of
82
us on the
games
sidelines,
at home.
it makes no sense. Y'all are professional
If
athletes.
you-
Why is this?
If you cook in the same kitchen 25 times, you know where the utensils are.
Right.
You know where the plates are. You know where the ingredients are. And then you go to a foreign kitchen, you don't know where anything is. That's why they call it home cooking.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. As long as you know where the very sharp knife is that this team needs to find. We have to take a quick break. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around. Scottie Pippen watched the opening of the show and already started talking over while we were running video. We're going to let him actually talk once we come back from commercial. So, stay with us.
The Jump is presented by La Quinta. Book at LQ.com and win at business.
Money on my
Welcome back to The Jump, presented by La Quinta.
So do you agree with what Kenny Smith said the other day, that you think your Rackets teams would have won if they had matched up with those Bulls teams?
Not
straight
yes,
up?
but hell yes.
Oh.
There you go, Rob.
They had nobody that could guard Dream. They had nobody that could guard Dream. I'm going to say that twice because Dream was just that dominant. And I did that because when we played San Antonio one time, Tim was killing me in the block, and Phil refused to double-team Tim to get the ball in his hand. And Dream is 20 times better than Tim Duncan. And Vernon Maxwell was the craziest dude you ever want to see on the court.
Did I hear
and
that
so
right?
he was in Michael Jordan. So, and I would lock Scott. Well, Scott did it. I would tell Scott right to his face, I would lock you up, dude. So it'd have been a match. It'd been a good series. And I think
Scotty's
we'd
on
have
the
won.
show tomorrow, so we'll be playing that for him. You put on that taco jacket, and it just all
He just lost.
comes out. Scottie Pippen, what would you like to say?
Do I have to
after
respond to
that?
this?
I
heard
here.
this guy say that Tim Duncan pretty much wasn't that good. He said Dream was 20 times better.
There was a discussion. He said that he thought Dream had a much better work ethic than Tim Duncan, was he said later in the show as well.
Well, they both had great results.
Yes.
But, to answer his question is hard to say because we didn't face them with a full championship roster. And, fairness, it would have been a great series.
Just say it, Scotty. Yeah, Dream would have no championships if Jordan
Well, I'm going to let you say it, Paul.
Dream would have no championships if Jordan didn't retire. Period. and Robert would only have 5.
You played against everyone we're talking about?
Yeah, actually, I did.
So talk to me.
I mean, he's right. I mean, they were good. I mean, they both were good, and that would have been a fun series to watch, absolutely, because I think that would answer a lot of questions. But I mean, you didn't have that guy, Michael Jordan, as well, to add to the firepower that they already had. So it's all just hearsay.
But I do want Robert to know that we dominated Clyde Drexler and his team in '92 in the finals. Did he forget about that?
No, he totally forgot.
I want to remind him that I had 3 titles when I showed up. And the fact that we had already won 3 titles meant that we would have been even better going forward, I believe. And I just think that them trying to put together a team in '94, we would have definitely had better chemistry and would have dominated them. And he definitely can't guard me. That's why he's a power forward.
I mean, look,
Oh, my goodness.
we'll see how much longer the finals go. Maybe we can get a basketball court.
Yeah,
Just,
bring it, Robert.
work something out. Work something out. We're not done talking about your Bulls, though, because yesterday ESPN, Big 3 League. Yesterday, ESPN surveyed bookmakers in Las Vegas. They asked which team would win a game between your Bulls and these Warriors. I guess this is as this sort of rolling downhill.
This is ridiculous.
I got a question.
Okay, go.
I got a question.
Go.
When I heard this at home, I had this one question. Which rules are we playing?
Ooh.
Right.
Are we playing?
Vince.
Are we playing
Salary
at
cap.
your time?
Salary cap.
Or are we
Yeah.
playing now?
Okay.
Because hand checking in their time,
Right.
there's no hand checking now. You touch them now, it's a foul.
It's correct.
In their time, they could push you all around the
It
court.
would have been harder for
Do
the
you
Warriors
recall?
to score driving because in the 90s when you drove, you get chucked with a
All of that.
forearm.
All that running through the paint,
Running
man.
through the paint.
Man.
You get held. You know, all these ticky-tack fouls from the 3 they wasn't called. And so,
Right.
you know, if they played in today's rules, maybe Golden State, because they have the advantage of today's rules. But if they played in the 90s, I don't think it'll be close.
Hard fouls are different. Flagrant fouls are different. Like what they're looking at for flagrant. Now that was a typical foul. Let's go. Like I mean, it's just different. And we're talking about like free flowing. Do what you want. You can't touch me.
Right.
And we're talking about physical basketball. I mean, I remember playing against Scotty my rookie year, trying to figure it out. Like I'm looking at the ref, like that's a foul.
Right.
That is a foul.
Oh,
Did
well,
you see that? He's like,
welcome to the
and they give
NBA,
you one of these.
man.
Play on.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, you used to laugh.
In an era where, I mean, look at Golden State. They won 73 games last year. Now they go out and get arguably the best player in the game. I mean, so it's hard to make those comparisons and not have the rules in place too.
That's my only thing.
That's the
like
only-
the rules, like which rules are you playing? And then I think that makes you
That
can
makes
kind
a
of
huge
decide.
difference.
You can
I
kind
mean,
of
it's a
decide,
huge
so to
difference.
speak. But I mean, both teams are good, and it's like it's all hearsay.
I mean, this is
It's
all-
good barbershop talk.
Right.
I
It's
mean,
good jump
I
talk.
guess
wanna talk about the
a better
matchups.
question is, which team is better? The 73 Golden
Win.
State team with the wins, or the team that won, what did they win this year? 60?
66, 67.
Right.
I mean, which one of those teams are better?
I think most people would take this year's team, right?
Where Kevin
Because of the
Durant
names?
factor. Because of the Kevin Durant factor.
Right.
Yeah, just the level they're playing at. Here's the theoretical matchup. Pip, how do you feel on Durant?
I think I could handle Durant there. I would give Jordan the edge in his category. I think me and KD will probably be a wash.
Really?
6'11", the guy shoots the ball from all over the court.
You were okay on defense, I remember.
I mean, that's why I say it was a wash. I
right.
think we could kind of watch each other play out. Michael could probably take over Clay. But
Could probably.
Probably.
in terms of Steph and Ron Harper, I may give Steph the edge.
y'all had 3 guys that can guard Kevin. I mean, Dennis
Yeah.
wasn't a slouch on defense. Michael could
No.
guard him. You
But
could guard him.
I also think that we had a very strong bench. Steve Kerr, Tony Kukoc. We had good shooters in our bigs, Bill Winnington. We had a pretty good team. I feel good about my team. It's hard to say how we would match up with today's players because the game is different.
This team doesn't even have a championship, and we're talking about this. This is
That's
this is
the funny
ludicrous.
thing. Yeah, that's
Like this
the thing
team
I was
doesn't even have a
saying.
championship.
Right.
And we're talking about matching them up against
Right.
arguably the greatest team.
Well, that's because you have this conversation. Oh, when you
Well,
look at this roster and you see how they're
let's-
playing right now, are they the best
Let's
team ever?
talk
That's
about
what-
this after they win 3 titles, not
Let's-
when they're up 2-0
How
versus
about after we see them on TV celebrating like that? let's talk about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can't make
yeah.
that conversation right now. It's too premature.
Yeah.
I want to get back to the rules thing for a minute. I just want to know, since he brought it up, when you would play a young rookie,
used to
Vince
cheat.
Carter. What? Yeah, this is what I want. Give it to me. What would you do?
He had
I would pull out
He had it all,
tricks
like-
in the book.
he had it all.
Okay.
And it was, it's clever. I mean, you learn it as you go through it. It's like, it's one of those things you have to go through it. Like the rookie hazing and all that, you have to go through it. You just have to figure it out. And we're coming to the league after, like I said, he has all of these championships. So he's well versed in these tricks, and he knew how to
Bill, what
Just
are we
saying,
talking
he's
about?
holding you.
I was
grabbing
about to say, he knew how to hold, grab.
Checking you.
It was amazing how you're coming off the screen and he could grab that inside arm, and it looks like nothing to the referee. It was just amazing, man. I complained all the time, and it was just.
Was it just
And it was
fresh
legal.
meat when one of these guys came?
That
to the
happened
league?
fresh meat, but I'm sure he's using it every day
Oh, now, right?
100%.
Absolutely.
Hey, and I used, and when I was asked, that's the point that I used from going through the years, and being held and whatever. I learned it from my first year, my first
I
couple
learned
years.
it from Scotty. I learned it from watching you.
That's true.
When you're winning, you learn how to cheat a little.
Absolutely. But and you get the advantage of the call as well. And when you know that, you take advantage of it.
What's
Why
the
not?
NASCAR thing? If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
trying.
Is that what they say, right?
Ricky Bobby.
I don't know. Did you teach the young rookies on your team that this last couple of years? Was that part of your veteran savvy you were
they're-
giving everyone?
Listen,
You can't do
They don't
any of
want
that
to hear
now?
it right now.
you can't do it no more.
Right.
You can't do the stuff
Absolutely.
Scotty was
Absolutely.
doing no more. It's all about the offense. It's about free-flowing offense. So the little grabbing, the little holding
Right.
the waist,
Right.
the little chucking when you come in the middle is not there anymore. So they're like, all right, I'm going to show you guys the offense.
Right.
Because the little defensive stuff that you learn coming in, it's not there no more.
Which do you like better? I mean, you played mostly in the other area. You've played in both. You're still playing in both, my friend.
I mean, it just depends on what you're looking for.
Okay.
If you like
What are
coming
you
from the
looking
east,
for?
I mean, I started from the
You like rough
the
and
grind. I started in the 90s where it was just beat 'em up basketball, and you had to figure out a way to score.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it was. And as you go through it, you adjust and adapt. And we've adjusted and adapt because we've been around so long. So it's hard to say what is what, because now this is the way it is. So you have to figure out how to defend. And I mean, it's easier to get the score now.
Hey,
Because that's what the NBA is looking
I
for.
think so.
That's what the NBA is looking for. But like when you had the Pippins,
As you
the
get
Vernon
around
Maxwell's,
40 years old, it's nice not to get beat up so much. So there's
Right.
that too.
Yeah.
There you go, Mr. I
at
want
the-
to play for
but
2 more years.
But on the other end, when you get those young guys who can run,
Yeah.
I'm going to beat you and hold you. I'm taking that foul.
Crap. I want to get to today's distant replay. This is brought to you by Garmin. I don't know if this involves one of our guys up here. This is from 2001. Oh, no, this is the one and only Allen Iverson. This is my favorite player growing up.
Iverson, fathered by Lou. Iverson. Oh, how about that? Steps over Teron Lou. Teron Lou all over it. Step back to pull that jumper, buries it, and watch him step right over the top of Teron Lou. Lets him know that 7 straight points.